Joining me right now is Matt Vaile, one of New Zealand's finest, XFC Welterweight Champion. What's going on? Welcome to Kumite Radio.
Thanks, brother. Thanks for having me on. I'm pretty pumped about the next fight. Pretty keen to share what's up.
Yeah, you have been impressive, man. You won the title, XFC welterweight title in 2016. You've defended the title 4 times. It's a very impressive run, man. But I want to know, how did you get started in MMA? Because your rise has been so fast.
So I actually did incorporated martial arts, which is sort of like a cross between Taekwondo and sort of grappling. I did that for about 12 years actually, and got my black belt third dan in that. So started from there, and then I did a couple of kickboxing fights, 3 kickboxing fights, and then one of the other guys at my gym decided he wanted to start MMA. He had an MMA fight in-house, and then it pretty much took off from there. I was like keen to follow along and do the same thing.
So what exactly got you hooked to mixed martial arts?
I think it's the I like the sort of many ways about it, but like the sort of the aggressiveness of it, as in sort of like kickboxing and boxing. Like, you know, your ref comes in and stops the fight if someone gets knocked down, and you go back again. But with MMA, you sort of got no second chances. You have to you're either in it or you're not. You know, I think that's one thing I liked about competing was that. Yeah.
You know, your style, your fighting style, it's a lot of pressure. You know, you don't give your opponent much time to breathe at all. If you go back and watch a lot of your fights, that's all you see is the guy being just overwhelmed continuously. Is that your style? Is that your game plan when you go in there every single time, is to overwhelm? Or does it change as you start fighting?
Yeah, it always have sort of some sort of set plan per the person, but it's sort of I don't know. I think I always just try and keep the pressure on the person, and it just comes naturally. Just a high tempo, and a lot of people sort of can't really keep up with it, and that's where the advantages come. But I think I definitely have different game plans to that, and I've been working on a lot of different things at the moment. But yeah, it seems to be a common thing. Just the pressure seems to break some people and get the openings there.
Yeah, you have been very good at finding openings. You started your career on a five fight winning streak, all first round finishes. You even picked up the title in that streak. Then you stepped into the cage at Carnage of the Cage 7 for the vacant title. You went in there, you dropped a decision. It was your first loss. What did you learn from that, you know, to further your career?
That was a huge learning curve for me. Like, I sort of come up real quickly and got all these like first round finishes. And then I was offered that fight against Benny Alloway. Is quite obviously being the UFC and well experienced. And it was sort of too good a chance to sort of let go. But I obviously had some big holes in my game to do with sort of takedown defense and sort of wrestling, which I never really worked too much on. And that sort of showed in that. But after that fight, you know, we went straight to the drawing board and started working on all that things. And now, like, I sort of can't see any flaws in those areas or anything at all. So I feel like if I ever got that rematch again, I'd freaking make it pay, you know?
Yeah. So you're looking for the rematch, and, you know, if you could possibly have that.
We've tried teeing it up, but I suppose it takes 2 to tango. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Now, I know that your final goal, your ultimate goal, you know, right now is to get to the UFC. Your teammate, Luke Jumeau, he is in the UFC, welterweight. He's fought a few times. You've been there. You've experienced fight week. How did you feel, you know, being around that atmosphere since you want to be there?
Yeah, well, especially his first fight in New Zealand, that was huge. The amount of support he got from the home crowd and that was even nerve-wracking on myself. I don't know how he dealt with it so well. But sort of, and then I've been to the other two with him, and it's slowly just, it's exactly where I want to be. Like, I just want to get to that point of fighting for the UFC and having the hometown sort of back you and having the crowd go for it. You know, it's such an awesome experience and environment. Yeah, I just hope I will get the chance very soon, eh?
I think you will, man. I think you are one of the guys. You know, a lot of talent is coming out of that region, and they're picking them up quickly. You know, you got Israel, you got Dan Hooker, you know, like a bunch of guys out there, just killers. And you're just on the list of killers out there, you know, putting in work. So it's a matter of time, right?
That's the one, for sure. I mean, like especially the guys coming out like Izzy and that, they've just made a storm on the old scene there. That fight with Dan Hooker and Jim Miller is going to be a hell of a fight too.
Yeah. They just announced that. That is an exciting fight for Dan Hooker. Now, your teammate, Luke, he is someone that you've been around. You know, he is in the UFC. He's in a position that you want to be at. How has he impacted your career?
So he was the one who actually had the first MMA fight back when we were training together in martial arts. So we've trained together for about 13, no, because we've done MMA now, so probably like over 15 years.
Wow.
So, yeah, I started off quite young, so I always sort of looked up to him. And then we were training. And, you know, just we hold each other accountable for everything, you know, just push each other to the limit. And I think he's been awesome having him up to that level. You know, it keeps you real honest and know that if you're sort of trying to keep up there, that you're doing good.
Well, you guys are a prime example of steel sharpens steel.
Yeah, bro, that's the one.
You've been out to Phuket Top Team throughout your career, right? Training out there. What have you been doing out there, and how has that elevated your game?
Sweet. So, yeah, it was the start of last year. I did a couple months at Phuket Top Team. We sort of were in between gyms and that, and never really had like a coach as much. So I felt I needed to change things up a little bit. Headed over there and pretty much just trained full time. That was a pretty awesome experience. Like, pretty much I think the big difference is like the amount of sparring partners and everything is just a real good level. There was some of the top like Russian guys there at one point, about 10 of them. And it was full brawls when it got to Friday night. Yeah, but that sort of pushed my game up a lot, eh? I got a lot of gains from that and just learned a lot as well. And then bringing that back home to sort of just keep on using all those techniques and learning more. It's been really good.
Yeah, I think a lot of people that don't know about Phuket and the gyms in that area, that when you go there, you'll run into so many Russians and Dagestanis and Chechens. You don't know who they are, but they're just killers. And a lot of them actually help the fighters that are there improve in the grappling area, the striking area. And yes, like you said, the sparring is just insane, right?
Yeah, bro, it's the goods.
Now, your fight, it's the biggest fight, you know, in your career, coming up at Hex Fight Series 13, March 23rd in Melbourne against Kitt Campbell. Do you think that he is the strongest opponent so far in your career?
Yeah, I feel like I haven't versed anyone with his style as of yet. And it's sort of, yeah, I think like by the people that he's been putting away, it's a real good match to make. I think that winning this fight's definitely going to prove my case that I earn a spot in the UFC, you know, and that's exactly why I'm all after it, man. I just want to get that win.
I look at this matchup as like two freight trains just going head to head, colliding, right? Because you are on a 4-fight win streak. You have a title in another promotion. He is the champion. Now, what does this matchup signify for Australia and New Zealand MMA?
Well, I think it's going to be the biggest one of the year for sure. Between that, it's pretty much, as I see it, the best welterweight for Australia and the best welterweight for New Zealand going head to head, earning that spot for a UFC contract, man. And there's nothing better to drive some motivation than that.
For sure. Is there a little hidden beef between Australia and New Zealand since you guys represent for your countries?
I don't actually think there is. I think around the whole rugby thing there might be. But MMA, like, I've fought over in Australia on XFC so many times. And, like, the Australian crowd and the people there, so they just feel like normal friends back home here, you know, like everyone accepts you really well and it's just like real welcoming. So I have some real good friends and fans that I met over in Australia that, just real cool people, man. And I don't think there's anything hard out between New Zealand and Australia because we fight together, you know.
That's what's great about the MMA community, I think, is that it has no borders.
Yeah, man.
You're going in as the challenger. You've been the champion. Is your mindset different?
Nah. So every fight, I feel like it's my biggest fight, whether it be bigger risk or not. But every fight, I just take it as the biggest challenge. And, you know, the mindset's always the same. Just, no other option but to win, bro. Go in there, get the job done, get a new belt. Doesn't really matter if it's for a new belt or not, you know. It's the same strategy, same plan. Yeah.
What is your message to Kitt Campbell and the crowd that's going to be there screaming during this fight?
Kitt Campbell, you better be ready, bro. I'm going to bring it all. And the crowd, you better keep your eyes open because you better not miss what's about to go down. I'm freaking can guarantee there's going to be some shots.
All right, last question before I let you go. I know that you have a tattoo on your chest in Korean.
Bro.
And I want to know what is the meaning behind that tattoo, because are you part Korean?
No, so the original martial arts that we done, got my black belt in, so that's Korean base from Taekwondo and that. Yeah, so that's our national symbol for our club. So that actually, it stands for, sort of has two-part meanings because obviously like language is a little bit different in definitions, but it's sort of like total commitment, total dedication.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then sort of known as like when other people read it, sort of like sacrifice. Yeah. That's it,
Definitely.
bro.
You are right. You are right. That's the exact translation for that word is sacrifice and dedication and devotion. And you wear it on your chest. And I also noticed that your teammate also wears it on his chest too.
That's the one, bro. Same one. We just got utter dedication to everything, bro. Like never give in, never give up. Just applies to it so well, you know. That's why we won.
All right, Hex Fight Series 13, March 23rd. The biggest fight is going to happen. Matt the Viper Vaile versus Kitt Campbell. I'm excited for this fight, man. I seen you guys just ripping through everybody, and it's just it's the best of the best going at it. Thank you for your time, man.
Awesome. Thanks heaps, brother. Catch up soon, eh?